Alrighty then. So before we start, I'd like to say that I went easy on this what if because I'm not trying to make Deku too broken, even though I already made him broken enough. Um, what I mean by that is I didn't use characters such as Anos, Rimuru, and so forth, which could completely, well, make the world broken. And plus, Daisere's world is enough for like right now, cause like I feel like for the concept of like Anos world and how things work, it kind of works intertwined with Daisere's world. So I feel like if I added the two of them together, that'd be a little too broken. So I can't really add that. So if you want me to add it, I can, but it'll have to be later on. Like I'll actually have to like make up some crazy ass story to make like the other characters like stronger, or bring like the opponents from like the other like animes into like reality. But that's gonna be like difficult to do, but I'll try. But anyways, let's go on to the what if. So I think last where I left off, Deku, he went on to train with Anti-Spiral, right? Yeah, I said they were fighting. Am I correct? Yes, I am. Alright, so the two of them were fighting. Again, I would like to imply that the anti-spiral is not using full strength and probably will never use full strength against Deku because again, it's not just that he cares about Deku after like the years of bonding. It's more of like he wants to have a fair fight and he wants to enjoy the fight just as much as he wants his opponents to enjoy the fight. So he's kind of making it even so that while Deku is growing stronger, he's gonna unleash a little bit of his powers. The only time he'll actually unleash his full powers if Deku wants to actually test out what it's like to sense his power. So that's probably how things are gonna go. So as time goes on, it's not just fighting that they do inside of this space. It's not just like a white or black space, actually. It's just like a regular space. It's not a clear space, it's just a space in which you can customize. So they're not just fighting, they're also interacting, eating, and stuff like that. Because, well, for some reason, I decided to add the concept of eating inside of that space. Why? Because I want to give them a reason to connect. So it's not that like they're all getting to know Deku like only when they're training him, but like times where like Deku was like taking a break or eating and stuff like that, they would talk to him, and like people like Mercurius and Reinhard would usually give Deku tips. Reinhard mostly on like his structure and stuff like that, like how he stands, how he uses his weapons and stuff like that. And people like Mobom would say like, oh, you need to hold, like strengthen your grip so that you can hold your weapon and stuff like that. And Mori would actually help him focus on like his attacks and his timing, so things like that. So it's not just like oh, I get to know you like when you are training under me, but like, oh, when you have free time, when we're eating and stuff like that. Yeah, they also have free time from time to time. I will make it so that Deku will be able to go back into that space, or at least get into contact with them, because well, they have their own worlds to get to. So well, not own worlds, but their own timelines. Yeah, that seems more appropriate. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. So during this time, the anti-spiral starts talking to him about spiral energy and stuff like that, how dangerous it is, and how it could potentially destroy the universe, and how he and many others, well, the anti-spiral is, well, a combination of, well, thousands, I think. Yeah, thousands of minds, so he's pretty smart. He explains to him how things happen and how he and how a thousand other people had to seal themselves away, and he's the product of such combination. So, yeah, and Deku asks him what the spiral energy is. I'm not going to explain that. That is too much work, and I am lazy. And, yeah, he proceeds to explain it to him. I'm not gonna lie, I am not going to do that, as that's boring. That's really boring, and like most of us have school tomorrow, so like I'm not trying to make it harder for us. So, yeah. So Deku, he learns about spiral energy and the anti-spiral energy and stuff like that, and he learns how to use both of them, but the anti-spiral explicitly tells him not to use spiral energy. Again, the repercussions, it can destroy the universe. So he decides, you know what, I'm not gonna use it. Well, it's not like he'll be using the powers anyways. So like, it's kind of how things work. So yeah. So as that happens, like he continues to learn under him, train with him, fight with him, and stuff like that. And at some point, Reinhardt's like, I'm actually eager to fight this kid from seeing like what he's able to do with like anti-spiral and stuff like that. But Reinhardt's like, you know what? I'll wait because well, he's not trying to fight Mercurius, and most definitely not trying to fight Ren. Um, so I'm not even gonna lie, Ren is one busted ass character. Like, that nigga's busted as hell. But anyways, I'll explain why later. But like, just know that he's like busted as hell, and he should have actually been the strongest in the whole series. But you know what? Yeah, we'll just leave that to the creators because I'm not him. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of how things played out for like that 1,000 years, basically. So how much years? How much 1,000 years has it been? 4,000? Yeah, 4,000 because it was four teachers. There was Truth, Mobam, Mori, and now the Anti-Spiral. That's 4,000 years down. Now we move on to like the actual big people, like the strong ones. So I'd like to imply for these 4,000 years, Deku is completely emotionless, broken as he is in the outside world as well. Um, so I'm going to start first with Mary from Daisere, and it's specifically because of her warm nature that I'm starting with her, just to give Deku some sanity back into his life and not make him an emotionless destructive creature. Um, so yeah, so how things stand when Maria first meets Deku, she's not curious about him, more of worried about him. Because every time she looks into his eyes, she sees, well, her eyes, or, well, her eyes before she died. Because before she died, she never had the, well, touch of anyone. Not just human, but anyone. She could never touch anyone because, well, it kind of get, like, kind of get decapitated anytime they touch her. So, yeah, that's kind of how things work with her in the anime. So let's just say, she's an example of accidental suicide. Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah, that seems appropriate. Um, yeah. So she wants to touch Deku, but she does not know the outcome. But seeing as how she wants to help him and bring him into the light, she takes the chance and, well, she touches him, or at least tugs at his shirt, his his blue shirt. Yeah, just give them a random pair of clothes every second. So he tugs on the shirt, and surprisingly, Maria sees that, oh, he's actually alive. He's not dead. So seeing as how that happened, because at this point, I feel like Deku should be immortal. Like, yeah, these guys are practically immortal. Well, yeah, they're practically immortal. So Deku's immortal, and plus, if he wasn't immortal, he'd have like hyper regeneration or infinite regen. So like, yeah. So seeing as how Maria sees that he is not dead or has not died after making contact with her, she sees that it's the perfect time, and she is in the clear to, well, do everything in her power to bring him back into the light, which she successfully does after 1,000 years. She successfully does. She like brings him back into emotions and stuff like that. She basically tells him like, well, she can't really tell him like everything, but she tells him like the basics of how like the world works, at least to her understanding of the Daisuri world. And Deku gets a basic understanding and starts to know what to expect from like the other guys that he has to fight. So he says, okay, as he learns under her and stuff like that, and yeah, that's kind of how it is for that one. Yeah, there's not really anything like interesting for Maria in this one, because like her law, like her concept is that she wants to like embrace everyone. So like it's like she wants to get into contact with everyone. So it's not really like, oh, she wants to structure anything like that. Nah, she just wants to like interact with you. So that's kind of how it is with Maria. Next, we move on to the tumor, which I'm gonna save for last. No, I don't want to start with you. Nah, nah. Yes, I will start with this one. No, 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 no. Yes, that seems appropriate. Yeah, Mercurius seems appropriate. Mercurius seems like the best choice for at least now. So, the moment he meets Mercurius, before Mercurius even says a word, Deku asks, "What's your concept?" Or at least, what law applies to you? Or, like, what concept on the throne behind you, like, applies to you? Or what do you want? So, that's kind of how it is. They mostly work on concepts and stuff like that. Like, concepts that make them who they are. And Mercurius, surprised by that's the first question he asked, he says, I wish for, wait, what was it? The unexpected. Yeah, he wishes for the unexpected. He wishes to experience something that is unexpected to him. So that's kind of how it is for Mercurius. As Mercurius explains to him, like, everything he needs to know about the Diceravers, because out of everybody in, like, the Diceravers world, Mercurius knows, like, the most. Like, everything. And, by the way, I'm going to make this fourth heaven's Mercurius. That's his strongest version anyways. So yeah, so seeing as how that works, um Mercurius explains everything to him and stuff like that, how the world works and how he'll have to be climbing up, well, the infinites of dimensions to get to the throne and stuff like that. Because Deku, after learning about the throne from Mercurius and stuff like that, because he doesn't know how the throne was created, nor does anybody, so he'll learn about that from her, because she kind of knows, like, a lot, like a lot. So yeah, so he learns, like, not the basic but the advanced things, like the things that will actually help him the most if he were to actually, like, be a part of their world. And Deku gets a basic understanding of how things work and shit like that. Also, Deku will actually have, like, all of their abilities, or at least all of their laws. So, like, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah, one of my favorite animes. Ooh, I could have added Sinbad into this. Hell no, I'm not adding that broken ass nigga. I already have Ren inside of this. And there's a specific reason why I can't add Simba and Ren. No, not Simba, Sinbad and Ren, because, well, they kind of have, like, one ability that's, like, the exact same, which is probably the most broken ability in all of anime. You'll come to find out later when I say it. So, anyways, so yeah, he learns the basics from Mercurius. He learns about, like, how the power system works, how scalings work, and stuff like that. I legitimately forgot about how to pronounce that thing. God damn it. Okay, hold on. All right, now I found the name. It's the Taikyoku. Yeah, I'm not going to remember that. So, anyways, he explained to him the Taikyoku value and how it is important to getting to the throne. If you have, well, a higher Taikyoku, then, well, I'd say about, like, 10 Mayato. Like, you'll be able to defeat 10 Mayato, which Tenma is this dude right here. His value is 100, which is higher than everybody on this list except for Hajun and the tumor. So, and, well, where is he? I swear to God I have him. Yeah, him. Yeah, him. Especially him. So, yeah, that's kind of where things stand right now. And he explained, like, how the Taikyoku values vary on the person and, well, their desire or their craving and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think his was like 90 something. It was like 90 something, 97, or like it ranges from 70 to 90 for him. I think it was 97 or some shit. Yeah, I'm too lazy to go search it up right now. I'll go do that later, like later on. So yeah, so that's kind of how it works, and he learns everything from Mercurius. Because over time, Deku will be learning how to. You know, it's now I'm realizing that, the Dizer Reverse, even though it's broken, when you have to explain the power system, it's boring as hell. Like, extremely boring. The only redeeming part of it is the powers. Like, I'll be dead ass with you. Like, that shit's boring. But, we had to explain it at some point. So, he explained that. And, yeah, Deku, after 1,000 years working with Mercurius, he learned about, just the basic powers of that world. And that's kind of how things work. Next, let's move on to... Who should I move on to? He's not really that important. He's just a really strong dude. We don't really know much about him because he's not really much seen. So, yeah, it's kind of how things stand. But just in case, if there's really anything I care about, let's go look. All right, after looking into it, there's not really anything I find to be important. But yeah, so that's kind of how things work. But we can continue onwards to the other characters, because there's only a few characters I care about. Well, Reinhardt, originally in the anime games and the light novel and stuff like that, he's not really meant to have the throne, so he's not really somebody we need to worry about, since the only thing that would probably happen to that whole world is just absolute destruction. So he's basically the embodiment of destruction. Mercurius is creation, stuff like that. So the two of them are opposites. Same as Ren, but it's different. Ren, it's not that he wasn't supposed to have the throne. It's just that... Alright, how do I explain this? So Ren is the byproduct of, Mercurius. Just Mercurius. He's basically the son of Mercurius, but not at the same time. He's kind of an experiment that was created due to being the opposite of... being the same as Mercurius. So basically, he's somewhat like Mercurius. It's hard to explain. All I can say is that he's a science project. Let's just say he's a science project, made by Mercurius and Reinhardt. But he ends up getting the throne, in some of the routes, two of the four routes. So, to put it simply, he is the shadow of the fourth heaven, which is Mercurius. He's the shadow of Mercurius. And he is the guardian of the fifth heaven, which is Maria, and also Maria's lover. So that's kind of how things turn out. So, yeah. This guy has a lot of powers, actually. We already know these guys are, immortal and stuff like that, at least in the Dice Ravers. They have, the different levels of immortality. This dude over here has plot manipulation. That is one of the reasons why I did not want to add Sinbad. Because Sinbad has plot manipulation. I can't give him twice the amount of plot manipulation. One is enough. So, that's why I didn't want to add Sinbad, but I could make an exception. Because Sinbad's world is actually important, interesting as hell. So, yeah, alright, to put it simple, this is gonna be me explaining how this world works and a little bit of training for these guys, because nobody really cares. So, Ren has plot manipulation. That plot manipulation is probably the only reason why he survived Hajun. Hajun ended up killing Mercurius, Reinhardt, and Maria. And Hajun was too self-absorbed to realize that Ren was there, and Ren escaped. So that's kind of how things work. And Ren would later turn into Tenma Yato, which is still not strong enough to defeat Hajun, but is the strongest inside of, the universe. Because his Taikyoko level is 100, which is the highest, or at least the max. Not the highest, because that goes to two people, which is Hajun and the tumor. Or, yeah, that's kind of how it works. So, next, we're gonna get to her. I legitimately forgot her name again. I'm not going to look for it. I don't care. She's the first heaven. That is all I can say. She's the first heaven. She was a part of the war that, well, had the throne in it, and she was the first seater on the throne. She was the first person to sit on the throne, and she's basically the embodiment of dualism. She's basically black and white. She's basically like the embodiment of opposites. So she's kind of that how that works. Um, Simply put it, this is Satan. No, like seriously, this is Satan. Like right here. Like he's not evil or anything. Well, he may be, but like nobody cares. But like he can create angels and demons and stuff like that. He can summon Beelzebub and Baal and shit like that. So yeah, basically Satan. Like I don't know how to explain this enough. Like the Daizure verse, look man, the powers are cool and all. Like the abilities, they're fire. But you know, once you understand the basics like Taikyoku, the throne, the artifacts, the holy relics and shit like that, it's boring. Like it's boring like shit. No, like seriously. Like if you search up like how like the foundation of that whole world, it's boring as shit. Like it's straight boredom from then on. Like you will actually get bored. That's why I'm doing my best not to explain this, but also give it to like the point where like they can actually train with some shit because they work the same way. Ah, fuck it. You know what? I don't even care about this anymore. I'm not going to explain this anymore. Why? Because this is hectic and nobody cares about the explanation. So yeah, this is basically Satan. um I don't know what more I need to say. um yes, this is Satan. So at least we got those out of the way. Now to get to the actual characters that I somewhat care about. One and Hajun. We're gonna start off with Hajun first, cause well, Hajun is bare shit. All right. All right. Good. All right. So Hajun is the sixth heaven and the strongest character. Well, second strongest now, cause well, I'll get onto that later. Hajun, he was the strongest before because of the tumor. He had the tumor. The tumor is his twin brother in which he absorbed in the womb. So, seeing as how his brother was there always irritating him, he had one craving, and that was to be alone, isolated from the world. And he sees the world as himself, and he wanted to be alone and him alone, which made his Taikyoko level go really, really high, surpassing even that of Tenmayato, who had the highest Taikyoko level out of everybody in the show. Whew. All right, everybody got that? Good, 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 good. All right, right after the tumor was taken out of him, he was defeated by Reinhard, and what's that nigga's name? Mercurius, yeah. And after that, Mercurius reset the world again for like what, the fourth time? Yeah, he did it like three. He did it like two other times. Um, but like that's besides the point. Um, so he reset the world again and erased all possibilities of Hajun ever existing. That's why at the beginning of well the series, I made it so that well, I talked about how well they killed Hajun. So that's kind of why I brought it up. Okay, so good. All right, so Hajun was later on defeated by the tumor, who took the human's form, and I'm too lazy to go search that up again. So yeah, he slit Hajun's throat, like ultimately killing him. And yeah, that's kind of how it works. Hajun, like I said again, his craving was to be alone. Okay, his craving was to be alone. Okie dokie then. Okay, that's nice. It's nice. It's nice. All right. Now for the tumor. All right, we already know the basics about the tumor. He was absorbed by Hajun in the womb. So what do you think his wish would have been? Like, I don't know, to live. Yeah, that was his wish. His wish was legitimately to live. He didn't want to die. Like, he even stated himself every day, every second, every minute. He legitimately thought, what if he's going to kill me? What if he's going to get rid of me? So he just wanted to live, which ultimately made him, well, strong, just like Hajun. Like, two of them are broken. The moment he was separated from Hajun, Hajun became weak as hell. So Hajun will never be able to use his full power. Why? Because I'm not putting the tumor inside of him. So, yeah. That's kind of how things stand now. So, yeah, can we? I want to move on to give him the powers now. I really do. Because, like, explaining this is boring. Because these, I understand these a little too much, and it's ass. Um, if I were to say who has the most power, like the most abilities, it would be Ren. Um, simply because he's the MC, but also because like he has plot manipulation, time manipulation, regeneration, immortality, and so forth. So it's kind of how it works. So yeah, let's get to the power giving. Yay. Um, whose stone do I want him to have? I want him to have Ren strong. That shit's fire as hell. Hajun's is shit. Like Ren's is the best looking one. I'm not gonna lie. You can quote me on that too. So yeah, that's kind of how things stand for like like the only thing they did was give him like basic knowledge and stuff like that, and teach him how to train and how to like get stronger and shit like that. Like to get stronger, all he has to do is kill people, but you know he's gonna get their fucking kill counts after he gets their powers. So you know, fuck that. So he's ultimately gonna become like stronger than all of them combined because he's gonna get their kill count. Um, fuck Hajun. Yeah, I have like a really strong hate for Hajun. I don't know why, I just do. Yeah, you're gonna start to realize this a lot, even though you're not gonna see a lot of Hajun. But anyways, yeah, fuck him and that's it. So after that, after like what, like there's 8 of these guys here. That was another 8,000 years wasted on useless knowledge and shit. Like the only thing he had to learn was like this, like fucking Reinhardt's whip, but I think it was a fucking spear. Shit looks like a sword. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You know, I feel like I'm being really aggressive to you guys, and I apologize for that. Yeah, I'm having a serious mood swing today. Maybe today wasn't the best day to make a what if. But hey, we're trying anyways. Why? Because I care about y'all, and I want y'all to be happy. So, yeah. So that's kind of how that happens. He gets their powers, he gets their kill count. Um, so Deku's craving. Deku's craving, or at least his wish. Um, hmm. Damn, I haven't really thought of that. Like, I'm not gonna make it the same as the last what if to give him an easier life or anything like that. Cause like, I feel like that'd be too easy. I think it'd be to feel loved. Oh, also in this interaction, Hajun was still self-centered, and like barely formed a connection with Deku, which didn't make Deku hate him, but like he didn't like him. So like it's kind of how things work. Yeah. I think it's because of his arrogance that I hate him. Yeah, that's probably why. I don't hate arrogant people. I just don't like their actions. I don't hate the person, I hate their actions. That was the easier way to say it. Alright, so yeah. So Hajun was later put on into his own place by getting the living crap slapped out of him by Deku after gaining their powers multiple times. Like Hajun, even though he didn't want to give it up, it was forcefully given. Like Hajun has like every power. No, like seriously, every power. Like he could use all of their powers. Well, Marie could use all of their powers to the full extent due to her, wish to, embrace everyone. So she could use their laws to the fullest extent. Hajun can't use a single bit of theirs because he's a self-centered bitch. You didn't what, huh? Yeah, y'all didn't hear anything. But anyways, yeah, Hajun can't use their powers. Maria can. So Deku has a lot of powers. I will not be bringing the Narakas into this because no, this is not the Daizore verse, so I don't need to bring the Narakas into this. So like, yeah, because like the throne will like essentially be like useless because it won't really be in the outside world. It'll mostly be inside of like Deku's head, or at least his knowledge, see, where like he perceives everything and shit. So yeah, that's kind of how things work right now. So yeah, hold on. Alrighty then, I'm done with what I had to do. So yeah. So that's taken care of. This was hectic. I'm now tired and want to sleep. But we gotta keep going. Right? Right. So now that I've explained like that exciting part, I swear to God, I should have left the things like alchemy, the anti-spiral, and Mori and Mobom for last. Cause goddamn, the Desiree verse is boring as hell. I don't even feel like it's complex. It's just boring as shit. But the fun part is I get to explain Hajun's powers. Why? Cause well, Hajun is just as broken as Ren, if not more, and that is definitely the case. So Hajun has his third eye, which can see everything, which includes the form of the Narakas, in which I will not be bringing up again. Again, I state I will not be bringing them into the what if. I will mention them, but they will not be inside of the what if. So, yeah. So Hajun can see everything with that third eye of his, and he can destroy anything. He has a really strong defense, infinite in speed. He's art. So basically, he's nigh omnipresent, nigh omniscient, nigh omnipotent. And that's all you need to know. Like I think that's enough to know, right? Yeah. So yeah, he's basically like the creator who has every power in all of anime. Again, the creator is a title. I forgot which anime that's from. I'll go search that up later or another time before I make this what if. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how things stand. And Deku has a lot of powers. Yay! Ranging from destruction to creation, from foresight to, well, future vision. Yay! Isn't that fun? We made a broken character. Ah. Now, how will we scale him to outer? We'll find out when I find out. I feel like he's already scaled to outer. I'm not even gonna lie. He's just. Because he's infinites of layers of strong. He's infinites of layers of boundless at this point. Damn, I made him a little too strong. But hey, fuck it. So, his throne will basically be Ren's throne. And to get to him, not even Hajun can do that. Hajun is now a speck of dust compared to him when it comes to Taikyoko level. So Deku, who has never felt loved. Did I make Inko abusive? I don't think I did. If I did, that's just tough. Ah, yes, I did make Inko abusive. Alright then, that's understandable. Okay. Alright, now I remember everything I did in part 1. Okie dokie then. So, yeah, now that that's under control. Yeah. So Deku has great mental, physical, and stuff like that. He has infinite resistance, all forms of immortality from 1 to, well, I think it was 12 or 11. It was either one. So, yeah. So you can't really kill him. You can't hurt him. And, you can't do anything that can affect him in any way, shape, or form. So, he's basically an anomaly inside of the world now, which you can't kill. And, well, I have to create a law for him, which is gonna take some time now, because, well, most of these guys have a law. Tenmayato and Ren have the law of infinite hell. I'm too lazy to be doing this, at least in this current moment. It's rainy where I am. It's gloomy, so that's probably why I'm like this. But anyways, that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, I've explained the basics now. I've explained how things work, the power scaling, how strong Deku is. I think next part, if you guys want me to add new characters, I will add the new characters. But next part, if that doesn't happen, I will be getting back into the main story, and we'll see how things go from there. Alright. This was not fun to make, by the way. This was actually hectic. It was back and forth. I was not prepared for this. Not in the slightest. I tried my best. I severely failed. But you know, hey, it's fun. Um, alright. So, I know you guys did not enjoy this, so I can't really say hope you guys enjoy. Um, I hope it was informative to you. To what you need to know about Deku's powers for now. Um, but yeah, I have nothing else to say. I will be continuing the other what ifs. I'm still getting on track with how things are going with the other what ifs, still clearing up my schedule, especially since I have school now, so it's gonna be harder. Yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying your day, which I probably ruined. But yeah. So, without me interrupting or getting in the way of your peaceful days, I shall be saying my goodbyes. And yeah, bye.